I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear complaints. But live, no, anything, it's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is...
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because...
In a candid and insightful conversation, comedian Ricky Gervais joined Joy Behar to discuss the evolving world of comedy, political correctness, and the importance of free speech. Known for his sharp humor and bold approach, Gervais emphasized that humor is meant to tackle tough topics, not avoid them. He shared his thoughts on how offense is subjective, reflecting on his own experiences with fame, his working-class upbringing, and how comedy has helped him navigate life's challenges. During a recent appearance on The View, Gervais addressed political correctness in comedy. He explained that different people are offended by different things, and just because someone feels offended doesn't automatically make them right. He believes comedians shouldn't aim to please everyone, as comedy often dives into controversial or sensitive areas. According to Gervais, humor must remain fearless, unapologetic, and willing to spark tough conversations. When Joy Behar asked about his comedic style, Gervais explained that he often uses irony and explores taboos, even if not everyone appreciates it. He views comedy as a way to challenge societal norms and push boundaries, sparking important discussions about difficult topics. He fully accepts that his humor can be polarizing, but for him, that's part of the job.
Back with his first stand-up special in 7 years, and this time he's taken on all of humanity. Please welcome back the fabulous and quite funny Ricky Gervais. So, before we get into what the special is about, the question everybody wanted me to ask you is, are you excited about the royal wedding?
You can't even say it with a straight face. Am I excited about the royal family?
Yeah.
No.
The royal wedding.
No, I'm not excited about it. Listen, I've got nothing against the royal family, but I don't like any of that sort of frivolous nonsense.
Right.
Gossip. I actually know William and Harry. They've come to about 2 or 3 of my gigs. But no, I mean, it's on every paper all the time. My news show is like, oh no, I'm not interested at all.
I wonder,
Thanks for asking.
Just on the same subject, though, when I was in England trying to do stand-up there, you can't say anything about the Queen. They have a fit, and they won't laugh. Is that true when you do it?
No, not anymore. Not my
well, it was then.
No, I mean, I think that, I think that BBC are still a bit stuffy because they get complaints, and, they're a sort of government body, so they fear complaints. But live, no, anything, it's just, no.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this is...
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right.
Referenced his infamous Golden Globes performances, where his sharp jokes often poked fun at celebrities. He believes comedy should hold a mirror to society, confront uncomfortable truths, and never shy away from pushing the envelope. In a separate exchange with Whoopi Goldberg about freedom of speech, Gervais passionately supported it, particularly in comedy. As he's grown older, he said he's become less concerned with others' opinions and feels more liberated to speak his mind. He sees comedy as an essential platform for addressing sensitive issues honestly and directly, especially in today's world. Gervais also opened up about using humor to cope with personal...
Offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? So you can't second guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything, you should polarise. You should polarise because everyone's different. So,
but this year you didn't host, and do you miss the fact that this was the Weinstein year?
Oh, I was salivating. Honestly, I got an adrenaline rush thinking of what I could say and whether I'd have to go to jail. And I like that opportunity because I do like that, when there's a tension, when there's an elephant in the room, although he wasn't there this year. I do like that because I do like confronting that because I think it takes the audience to a place it hasn't been before. And it can be a mutual backslapping, fest, fine, but don't televise it, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires,
and who don't care about winning the awards.
That's right. Humanity, which we mentioned, is your first comedy special in 7 years, and you say that it's the right time for it, the subject matter.
Yeah, well, I left it for 7 years, not on purpose. I was doing other things. I did a series, I did Derek, I did a couple of movies, and I pushed it back because I always thought that stand-up was like the second or third thing I did, whereas now...
Such as the loss of his parents. Reflecting on his working-class upbringing, he shared how humor was a survival tool for his family during tough times. For instance, his mother once joked that he was a mistake because of the age gap between him and his siblings. These moments, Gervais said, show how laughter can heal and help us endure life's struggles. Through his stories about family, fame, and grief, Gervais highlighted comedy's power to challenge norms and heal wounds. He believes humor should be fearless, thought-provoking, and brutally honest, reminding us of its unique role in helping us navigate life's toughest moments. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Share your opinion.
Now it's my favourite thing. I could give everything else up because it's such a privilege, and freedom of speech is so important these days. And you've got, I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
welcome aboard.
What's the worst that can happen?
Welcome aboard.
I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
So I'm offended. I'm going to die. So what? So
You made enough money at this point.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that to animals anyway, just to see the look on my stupid family's face.
In a candid and insightful conversation, comedian Ricky Gervais joined Joy Behar to discuss the evolving world of comedy, political correctness, and the importance of free speech. Known for his sharp humor and bold approach, Gervais emphasized that humor is meant to tackle tough topics, not avoid them. He shared his thoughts on how offense is subjective, reflecting on his own experiences with fame, his working-class upbringing, and how comedy has helped him navigate life's challenges. During a recent appearance on The View, Gervais addressed political correctness in comedy. He explained that different people are offended by different things, and just because someone feels
Talk about your family.
I do. This is the most personal. Again, I think for the same reasons. I think that it's nice to look back and it's a celebration. I talk about my mum and dad and who aren't with us anymore, and jokes about the mum and mum's funeral. Because that's what. I think that's what humour's for. It gets us over bad stuff. So it's a sin. Not to joke about all the bad things, that's a waste. Because that's exactly what we should joke about.
I also feel that when you talk about people who have gone to the next world, whatever that is, that you're keeping them alive in a way.
Well, yeah, they exist.
They're still there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And, I tell it, there was a lot of truth, so I tell the truth. It's not just this idealised view of your mum. You tell, why. I remember when I was 12, I got older brothers and sisters, which is why I'm like I am, I suppose. I had to show off to be heard, right? And they're much older than me. They're like 11, 13 and 14 years older than me. And I remember when I was about 12, I said to my mum, why are my brothers and sisters so much older than me? And she said, you were a mistake.
And there you have it.
I just laughed.
It's true because sometimes it's also the way you can grieve. Because when my brother passed, when I started talking about it in my show, because it was like I couldn't understand how he was more good looking dead than I was alive.
That's great.
And people were like, really? I was like, yeah, because you have to keep talking. You have to keep talking to stay present.
Absolutely, make them part of the thing, and it is with affection. I just think that it's like my mum would have loved it.
And they're hilarious anyway.
Well, it's funny. Funny is funny. Funny is funny. There's no time and a place for being funny. I know some things are sensitive, and I think you have to respect that. And let's get this: I wouldn't be doing those jokes at someone else's mum's funeral.
I
don't mind, because I know that So
let's talk about your partner Jane, because I've met Jane. She's a lovely person. You've been with her for how many years? 35?
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
Not married. married yet, though.
No.
You're never going to get married.
No.
No.
He doesn't
point.
like any of that stuff.
There's no
Did you hear
point.
that?
Yeah. No, there's no, we don't want our families to meet, and
But you've said that the key to a happy relationship is separate bathrooms, which I totally agree
that's
with.
a fact. That's a fact.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And why is that?
One less argument, isn't it? So yeah, no, it's great. It's lovely to have your space, and no, it's brilliant. Yeah.
I know, I think so too. What about separate bedrooms now?
Oh no.
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 Let's not get crazy, Joy.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
No, you're really active on Twitter. You have 13 million followers, and you love to engage with trolls. It's a fun pastime for you.
Yeah.
You post unflattering photos of yourself, which I think we have, mostly in the bath. What is it with your bath obsession? What's going on here?
I love a bath. I think it's because when I was little, a bath was like a luxury. You know, we could afford 2 a week each in the family. So now I think that's my luxury.
Now you're
bath.
gluttonous, laying in the bath.
Honestly, my baths have got bigger and more luxurious. I have 1 or 2 a day, and so I've got the iPhone. So I think, and it's great to look. You're in that position, and those are taken all around the world. There was Oslo, and I do a relevant, bath pic wherever I go.
They're very themed.
Do you think?
They're very themed, yeah.
Do you think that growing up poor like you did, and I grew up in a tenement, Whoopi grew up in a
project.
I was just in Iowa, so.
She's from Iowa, whatever. Do you think that makes you funnier?
Well, I think so, because that was the thing about growing up. I was born into poverty and welfare housing, and my dad was a labourer, mum was a housewife, and I was the youngest of 4. But the point was to, pay your way, then have a laugh.
Yeah.
And, that was the men. The women carried on working.